Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us on our presentation today around Access Live, our virtual town hall platform, and how it can be an effective communication strategy for you as we all work through this coronavirus pandemic. We are Broadnet, and we are here with our partner, Leidos. We've been partnered with Leidos for about a decade now to provide this technology around the country. So Chris Hart is here with Leidos. He is going to help me answer some questions, but in keeping with the time, we want to make sure that we make best use of your time. We are going to go through this presentation, and if you look underneath the streaming player that you are viewing this presentation on, there is a box where you can write in your questions. So please, as I go through this demonstration, ask your questions because we will be getting to those at the end of the presentation. So again, this is Access Live, our virtual town hall platform, and we have been working with clients across the country to provide this platform to communicate with residents, communicate with their communities, their organizations, to get the word out about what they are doing about COVID-19 or coronavirus. Just last night, we held an event with Arapahoe, Douglas, and Adams County in Colorado. And we had about 40,000 residents on asking questions, giving comments, and I wanted to share this comment from Douglas County Commissioner Abe Layton. In the midst of this challenge, I am so heartened to hear there are so many people on this call because that says we're all in this together, learning together, and we are all going to get through this together. And we start to do that with immediate, clear, accurate information, which is the point of this call and the reason that your elected leaders and key experts are all on this call with you. We are in it together, and we are going to keep doing these virtual town halls. So as you can see, the response that we got last night was overwhelming, and people are really looking to their elected officials in their communities to tell them what's happening, get that verified information, and show that, again, we're all in this together. So your audience wants to stay informed, ask their questions, understand the measures being taken. And I want to share with you the stats that we have from the start of the coronavirus compared to January. So as you can see, the stats have grown quite a bit. And that means people are engaging. People are looking for this communication tool. They're looking for these answers. So this obviously is a very effective platform to really get that information out and make sure that people are informed. So I'm going to go into the top benefits of Access Live and why it is a preferred communication tool at this time. It is not a conference call. It is not a Zoom call. It is an authentic interaction with your audience. We are inviting them to ask their questions, give their comments, give their feedback in their own voice. So you're really making yourself as accessible as you can to your community. You're creating unique content that you can share with your community, and you're getting that real-time feedback that you can use to say, here's what my community is concerned about at this time. We need to make sure that we're getting answers to them. So I want to show you all of the ways that Access Live can connect with your audience. We have, of course, the phone, which we can connect via landline and mobile. And we also have website integrations and video streaming. So what that means is we are able to call out to your audience on their cell phone, on their landline, and connect them to the event. So that means that we are not asking them to dial in at a specific time. We are calling out to them and connecting them to the event. So it's an easy way to get a lot of people convened quickly. But if your audience is looking to maybe live stream the event, watch it on their computer, they are able to do so. So right now, you're looking at website integration. We are able to provide the code to embed our streaming player right on your website. So you can have that on your county website, on your city website, on your organization's website. So when you host these informational events, you're asking people to go to your site and not a third-party site. So we make that very easy. And as you can see on the player that you are watching this on right now, you're able to ask questions there as well. So it doesn't matter if you're on the phone or if you're streaming, you're still able to give that feedback. We've also added in some social integrations as well. So if you wanted to simulcast the event on your Facebook or your YouTube, we can do that as well. So we're really casting a wide net to make sure that we're reaching your audience wherever they are. So I am going into the phone portion of a virtual town hall to show you how it works. So as you can see on the screen, we are able to customize that caller ID. So when a resident looks at their phone, when they get that call, they will see who's calling. They will see it's you. We can customize the name on the caller ID, and we can also customize that area code as well. So they're not going to see unknown caller. They're not going to see an 877 number. It is a familiar name and a familiar area code. So when we have people on the phone, we invite them to press *3 if they have a question. And when they press *3, they are connected to a screener who transcribes their question for you and puts it on a dashboard. So you, the host of the call, you're able to see all of those questions that come in and decide which questions you want to answer. It really puts you in control of the conversation and gives you the ability to see the questions that people are asking, see what's most important, and really make sure that you are addressing those most important questions that you're getting. We can also prompt polls as well on the phone. So if you wanted to do a quick poll, you are able to do that, and people are able to vote on their keypad. So there are a lot of ways to engage with your phone participants, but the most important, especially right now, is getting those questions and making sure that you have those questions in front of you so you can make a decision on which ones to answer. So again, I showed you that what you're looking at right now is website integration. So we can do that on your site as well. We build the code for you. We deliver it to your team member that would be able to embed it on a specific site or create a specific site. So it's really simple to get this up and running and make sure that any event that you're hosting is on your site. So you control the calls to action, you control the information that is embedded around that streaming player, and your audience knows that it's a safe place to go to ask their questions because it's a trusted site. So that is a very simple process that we can do very quickly because I know that information is changing rapidly. So the need to host these events is fairly immediate. So that is something that we can get set up pretty quickly for you. So I want to go into the different types of streaming that we have in conjunction with the traditional telephone town hall style setup. We have added in streaming options. So we have audio streaming and video streaming. Audio streaming, I like to tell people to think of this like a podcast. So it's what you're looking at right now. We are doing an audio stream. We can do a PowerPoint presentation like what I'm showing you here. We can have slides. We can have an image displayed, but it is just simply a way for your audience to connect via the computer if they would rather not be on their phone. Another big draw of doing an audio stream is that we can embed captions on that stream as well. So if you have residents that need those captions or even need those captions displayed in another language, we can set that up. That way, again, you are making yourself as accessible as possible, and you are able to serve your entire community through those captions. We can also support streaming video. So what we do here is we either connect with the video equipment that you currently have in place, or we can send you what you need to host a video event. And our remote producers would be able to produce that for you. So add in lower thirds of the speakers on the screen, add in captions, add in graphics. So it is a fully produced event by our remote producers, and you are able to broadcast out to your audience. And I have to say, I always check the analytics that we get after video events because it really indicates that people stay on a little bit longer. It's not a typical streaming video that you can go watch anywhere on the internet. You are able to have a conversation with that person. You're able to ask them questions. You can see them responding to you. So it's a really engaging way to communicate with your audience, make sure they're getting their questions answered, and really building that connection with them because they're able to see you on the screen and also communicate with you. I think the most important takeaway from doing an event like this, aside from the impact that you're making on your community, is the data that you receive. And really, you get a pulse on your community. What are they feeling? What questions are they asking? What can we do as an organization or as a community to alleviate those concerns and make sure that they're getting the most up-to-date information? So here on this slide, you can see the dashboard. So this is available to the host of the call, to the moderators of the call. This is not public facing. So anytime somebody asks a question on their phone when they press *3, up at the top here, those questions will start to populate. And once the screener has the ability to have a conversation with that participant, they then transcribe that question for you. So you can see all those questions populated up at the top. We have a ranking system where you can rank those questions. So the host of the call knows which questions have been vetted and ranked so they can take them. So we have the ability to bring the participants live, much like a radio show where they can verbalize their question in their voice, or we can just have that question verbalized by the host of the call. So we're able to give that participant a voice or just collect those questions. Either way, you're really starting to understand what the community is looking for answers on. And right underneath that phone question box is the online question box, which is how you will be able to submit questions today. So participants are able to put their name in, we capture their email address as well, and then they're able to ask a question right there on the streaming interface. So again, that interaction continues right there. No matter how they're participating, they're able to communicate with you. We also have a chat box here on the dashboard as well, because on every event, you have what is called an event specialist. And that event specialist is there to make sure that the screeners are screening properly, if you're streaming, that your stream looks good, that all of the moving pieces of these events are running smoothly, because we want you to really focus on the conversation that you're having. We don't want you to focus on all the moving parts, because that's what we are here for. So that chat box is there for us to communicate with each other during the event and to make sure that everything is running as smoothly as possible. Also, you can see here that we have a poll box. So when we prompt a poll, you are able to see those poll results show up right here on the dashboard. So it really is a control panel for you to monitor how many people you're connected with, what questions are being asked, and how those poll questions are tallying out right at a glance. You can monitor the call. But then, of course, after the call, we deliver a full suite of analytics to show you who you were connected with and how they interacted with you. So we have our executive report that gives a high-level overview of your event. So it will show you how many people were connected via the phone, how many people were on the stream. If they asked questions, it will show how many people asked questions and how many people were brought live. It will show you the results of your dial-out, so how many people answered live versus going to voicemail. And it will also show you your poll results in a pie graph here. So a high-level overview to show you how many people you were connected with, how those poll results went out, so you can just see at a glance the success of your event. But we also drill down even further into what we call the participant report or attendee report. And that report shows how each person interacted. So it will show that person when they joined. If they asked a question, it will show their transcribed question. If they voted in a poll, it will show how they voted. So you are able, if there are questions that were asked that you weren't able to get to, or it may not have been something that was able to be answered on a public forum, you can go to that attendee report, filter all the questions and find that question because it will be tied to that person's contact information. If they were on the phone, it will show their phone number, or if they were streaming, it will show their email. So you can always follow up with them. Going back to that event that we did last night with the Tri-Counties and the Tri-County Health Department, we had over 600 questions asked. Again, people are really looking for answers, and they're looking for verifiable information, and this is such an effective way to do that. So they have some work on their hands. They've got some questions to follow up on, but they have the ability to do so with our reporting because they're able to see all of those questions that were asked. We also have some complementary tools to an Access Live event that really enables you to broadcast information quickly. So we have SMS broadcast, which is just an informational text. We can send out text to your community, giving links to helpful information. If there is a shelter-in-place order, we can send out that order to everybody on your list. Just an effective way to get information out quickly. SMS text is a really effective way to do that because I believe the open rates are right around 92%. So it is a really great way to get that information disseminated. And then, of course, we have auto calls as well, where you are able to record a message, upload a list of phone numbers, and send that message out quickly. So a lot of people are using this right now as the news changes, as the laws are changing, and as the orders are changing. They're sending out this information quickly so they make sure that their audience is as informed as possible and they're getting the information directly from them. So if you do not have a list that you can dial out to, we are able to procure that list for you. And right now, we are under a national emergency, which means that under the TCPA, we are able to dial both landlines and mobiles. So we can work with you to say, who are you looking to engage with? Are you looking to engage your entire community, specific neighborhoods? We can really target down to make sure you're reaching exactly who you're looking to reach, and we can help you by procuring that data for you. So it really is a full service solution. If you're looking for your audience or if you already know your audience, we can do that for you and we can host these events to make sure that you're getting that information out. So that is our platform. These are just the quick steps to success to show you the process. We always strategize with you, as I mentioned, to make sure that we are reaching who you're looking to reach in the ways that you're looking to present that information. We integrate on your website, on your social media channels to broaden that web as much as we can and really make sure that we're using all the channels that we have available. And then we launch it and we promote the event and make sure that everybody is aware of what is going on. And then, of course, you have those analytics that we go through with you to make sure that the data that you receive is usable and that you are able to use that to continue the conversations with your community. So again, at the bottom of the streaming player, we have a question box. So we're going to open it up for questions now. I want to make sure that I'm respecting everybody's time. I know that we are all very busy right now. So Chris and I are going to take a couple of questions. So the first question comes from Jackie, and Jackie wants to know, can there be multiple hosts on the call who can join remotely? And the answer to that is yes. We are all here practicing social distancing. So I am at my home, Chris from Leidos is at his home, and we are able to do that. So the way that it works is that we send out a unique dial-in with a PIN, and anybody who is going to be hosting the call or speaking on the call will join with that PIN. Because participants join remotely, and they join muted. So you are only able to open up their mic if they press *3 and ask a question. So yes, we can absolutely support multiple hosts in remote locations. So another question that we are getting from Haley is, what types of questions are hosts receiving on this event? So as you saw with the stats that we gave you, we are getting a lot of questions from people. And a lot of them are very specific to where they are. So, what is the county doing? Are we going to go to a shelter-in-place order? Really specific questions about their community or their neighborhoods. But a lot of them are just general questions, like how long does the virus live on surfaces? Or is it safe for me to get takeout? I know that restaurants are saying they do takeout. Is that safe? So hosting an event like this with a health expert or a professional from your health department is super beneficial because they're able to answer those types of questions because we're seeing a mix of both. What's going on in our community and what is really going on with this virus and what sort of information should we know as we go into this. So we're getting a multitude of questions. So we have another question from Joe. We're looking for a way to combine live broadcasting and telephone conferencing. Does Access Live do that? Absolutely. As I showed you, we really build the event to be what you're looking for. So if you wanted to make it a multimedia event and have a phone portion and also a live stream portion, we can do that. And we can enable any of those features that you're looking for to make sure that we're reaching your audience in the way that you're looking to do so. Another great question is from Jeffrey Ray, who wants to know, will Access Live work to host a virtual city council meeting? And the answer is yes, absolutely. We already have a lot of folks who are looking for solutions for their city council meetings, and Access Live is a great solution for that because it allows for the public to participate, ask their questions, but it is a more moderated format. So you're able to see the questions from the public beforehand. They can participate like this on the stream or on the phone, and you have a full recording of the event after it's done. So it is a great solution for virtual city council meetings or public meetings that are typically done in person. It's a great virtual option for that. So let's see, we have one more question from Sue. Is this used in an employer-employee setting? A good portion of our employees do not have computer access but do have a smartphone. That is a great question, Sue, and the answer is yes. While this platform is really built to be as engaging for public-facing meetings, it's also very effective for internal communication as well. So a lot of people, again, they're really looking for these solutions to make typically in-person meetings more virtual, more remote. So it is able to be used for internal discussions, employee meetings. So that is a great application for Access Live. So Chris from Leidos, I am going to bring him on really quickly to address us about how this works and how you can get in contact with him if you'd like more information. If you look underneath the streaming player, there is a box that says polls. If you open that up and you're looking for us to reach out and get you more information about how you can host one of these events, please hit that button, say yes, and we will follow up with you and get you the info. And I really want to respect everybody's time. So Chris, you want to just kind of wrap it up and let them know how they can get in touch with you if they need more information?
Absolutely. Well, the number one way, since you're on there right now, you can just say yes to that question. But if you also want to send us an email, you can email us at iq.sales@leidos.com. That's LEIDOS.com. And somebody will be more than happy to follow up with you and let you know how we can help.
Wonderful.
Again, you can also reach us at our. You can also reach us at our website, which is intranetquorum.com.
Perfect. Thanks, Chris. Really appreciate it. Again, I thank you all for joining us today. This presentation will be recorded. So if there is anybody that did not make it, we will be sending that out. And if you would like to go back and reference it, it will be available for you right here on this page. So we appreciate your time. We know that everybody is so busy right now as we all traverse through this pandemic together. So please reach out to Chris. Let us know how we can help. And we appreciate you joining us today. So thank you all very much. and we will be in touch.